to the desk to talk about this one. Shady, you were very vocal on it yesterday. Like I said, I appreciate you for charging me to go do a little bit more homework. How can the Eagles fix their issues offensively in your mind?
But that was part of it right here, right? Finding ways to get the matchups. Right, the Cowboys all the time, everybody used to criticize CeeDee Lamb. Oh, he's not number one because he's not always outside. So what? CeeDee Lamb is one of the best players in this league, one of the best wide receivers in this league. So if I got to put him in a slot, if I got to motion him, give the defense a different look, right? This is the NFL. It's the best of the best, the elite of the elite. They get paychecks like we get paychecks. So my thing is, when you watch the Niners play, when you watch the Cowboys play, they move these guys around. I see Debo everywhere. Right? I see McCaffrey everywhere. CeeDee Lamb is everywhere. Even Tony Pollard is everywhere. Why wouldn't you want to mix misalign these different players to give a defense a different look? Make them guys have to scout more. Make them guys have to, spend extra time in the film room. When you make it so easy, it's so predictable. When I watch the Eagles' offense, it looks predictable. Yeah. Another thing is this. That's the good thing, though, right? It's always a positive and a negative. We have the best record in football. We're tied for that, right? And we haven't got our offense right yet. If we get our offense right, and right now we're doing bad, and we're tied for the best record in football, when we get it right, what you think is going to happen, Acho?
I agree.
Come on now. So look, all I'm saying is this: mix it up a little bit, get a defense some different looks, different formations, some motions, dress it up a little bit, and play our game. We the Eagles. Stop playing.
Yeah, the numbers are very different for the defense last year and this year. We've kind of been blaming them for what's going on. I think they're not really playing complete football, complementary football, but they're way down this year in a lot of categories. The most important one, James mentioned earlier this week, is third down. Ooh. Last in third down defensively. Last. I didn't circle it. I do arrows. You know what I'm saying? I do the arrow next to it, a little emphasizing there. But you can see the statistics are way down, and you can see with your eyeballs that they're not playing the same defensively. Oddly enough, though, as bad as we think Jalen has been this year, his numbers aren't that far off from what he was doing last year. I kind of showed it to James on the low yesterday. I had to bring it back. I was like, this should look worse than it does. This should look way off, but it doesn't. Now, obviously, the turnovers are much higher, but when you go category for category, it's not that far off. But with our eyeballs, we can see the difference. So what really was the difference last year? They were much more physical, and the defense was playing at a much higher level. So when your offense is not playing at a super high level, Jalen obviously doesn't look the same, even if the numbers are sort of the same. The defense isn't complementing. They're not playing good all-around football. The offense isn't being creative enough. They're not putting their best players in the best positions to have opportunities for big plays. And the defense isn't getting off the field because they're constantly giving away third downs and letting people go on really long drives. So I think all of it is fixable, mainly because the talent is in the building.
Yeah, but the first step for me, what is your identity? What do you do?
What was their identity last year?
Run that football downhill at you, and you know when you come to the link, are we coming to you? It is going to be a physical football game, and we coming downhill at you, and we going to play action pass. That was their identity, right? Now you don't know what their identity is.
I don't know.
I don't understand. Have you like you have a really good back in Swift to where he'll get 20 touches, and then the next game get 5. How? It don't take no skill to hand it to him. None. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I don't understand how that, but that's a lack of identity. What are you trying to get done offensively as an offensive coordinator? The Eagles have been almost different every single game. There's no identity. Yeah. So until you figure out that, you're going to be in trouble.
Shady, that's what they call me. I don't think the Eagles going to figure it out.
You think it's over?
I don't think they're going to figure it out before February, second week in February, wherever the Super Bowl.
Even with the best record in football, and we playing this bad, you don't think we can figure it out?
No, because that there is to figure out, I don't think that they will change or that they will have the opportunity to change. Man, I don't think people realize how fast weeks go in a season. Weeks go fast. Oftentimes, you win a game, you got to see you Wednesday. Yeah. That means you practicing Wednesday, you practicing Thursday. If you got a road game, you're traveling on Saturday, you're practicing on a walkthrough Friday. Like, there's not a lot of time to fix all this stuff. The Eagles' defense has been below average all season. All season. All season. The linebacker play has been average at best all season. Secondary play has been average all season. I saw this today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the Eagles safety, he had as many interceptions last year through this week as the whole Eagles team currently has through this week. So I don't think this is getting fixed because I don't think they have the time to fix it, and I also think the Eagles' names are currently better than their games.
And so you don't think they got the players to fix it neither, is what you're saying?
Not to fix the it of overcoming the Niners and overcoming how the Cowboys are playing right now. Again, we said it before the Cowboys game last week. Cowboys lost by 5. But if we all recall, Dak Prescott stepped out of bounds by an inch. Tight end got tackled. He didn't score by an inch. So Dak Prescott and the Cowboys had 400 yards of offense. So when you really look at it, go ahead, Joy, I don't really think these issues are gonna get fixed.
I guess my hesitation with it all is if that game happens in the postseason, who cares?
Which game?
If that game that the Eagles played against the Cowboys,
the one they won.
and the one that they won happens in the postseason, who cares?
Yeah. If it's going to a Super Bowl or winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the expectations for the Eagles. Once we get to the postseason, which they will be in the postseason, it is a whole different season. I agree. Nobody likes what they put on tape last week or the week before that. So they're trending down. It's not a good situation, and there's things that they need to fix. But when you're looking at what the Eagles are capable of, I disagree with the names not being as good as the talent. I think they lack an identity. I think they make some adjustments on offense. But when it gets to the postseason and you go toe for toe with some of these teams, all it takes is the toe stepping out of bounds.
Of course.
Toe for toe and a toe out of bounds. So all the regular season hype and all this conversation and we're better and you're better, at the end of the day, when you're both on the field and it's win or go home, who cares about that? Do you have the capability of winning those games?
But my fear now, though, is they've lost to the 2 teams they will have to beat just to get to the Super Bowl by a combined 43 or so points. Yeah. That's the only reason I care right now. The reason I don't know that the names match the game, I'll speak defensively before I speak offensively. Now, look at the offensive line, because I know Coach Stoutland is not happy at all. And Shady, you know Stout just as well, if not significantly better than I do. I just had to go against him often because I was practice squad linebacker giving him looks. The offensive line, it ain't what it needs to be. The defensive line, it ain't what it needs to be. The secondary, it ain't what it needs to be. So they all got to turn up. 2-5, they all got to step up.
Yeah, and that's why these next 4 weeks are crucial, because I was one of those teams that we got into the playoffs at the 6th seed. Right? So that means you barely got up in that thing, right? And you finna get drugged by all these teams up in there.
2011?
2010, 2011. Yeah, 2011.
2010.
2010 season. One of those, yeah. But
wait. What seed were we, though? We were the 2nd seed? Because y'all played this first at home with the Eagles.
I don't remember. I just know we won. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
I just know we came to the link and won. So with that being, but only reason why I say that is the last couple games of the season, we knew that we were getting it rolling. Like, we knew, like, okay, all that other little stuff that happened in the season, we wasn't playing well and all that. We knew turning on the tape, like, ooh, we right there, and these boys is in trouble. So that's why these next 4 games is big for the Philadelphia Eagles to get that mojo going into the playoffs to play. If they stay like this, they want to go.
My thing is, like, to me, they have been, it's weird because, like, the Eagles have played like this the majority of the season. It's not as though, like, if they stay like this. James, you said something, I think, 2 months ago. You looked at Joy, you looked at me, you looked at Shady, you said, what if this just is the Eagles? I don't even know if you remember saying that.
I do.
You said, what if this just is the Eagles this year? They are 10-3. That is a really, 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 really good record.
What's the best record?
Tied for the best record in football, no doubt about it. But, like, why do y'all think the Eagles going to change?
But if we're doing a lot of ifs, we always do. If they do look good through these last 4 games, then what? Is that not a significant enough?
To me, they would have to look better than they ever have before. But I don't think they can because I think this is who they are.
I think if you playing a not as good an opponent, our next 4 are not the 2 Giants. We played them twice. Played the Cardinals and the Seahawks. If we look better and we get that momentum, right, we get that more confidence, the play callers, they get some momentum. They call different things. Okay, now this works. Now let's try this next week. Okay, now it's working. You add on to it. You don't think you can change at all?
It depends.
Against a weaker opponent?
It depends for me, why do they look better? Because you know this, and I've been here before, we've all been here before. Don't be deceived by your opponent. Don't let a bad opponent fool you into think you good. You have to go out there and play good. I want to see the Eagles play good.
But what if it's more internal, like? So I get what you're saying about the opponent, but if it's like small things that they've done, they've messed up. So now when you have a weaker opponent, you trying these things out. Yeah. So I'm not just saying if it's more X's and O's for me. Right? So something that maybe we didn't try against the Cowboys or try against the Niners. Let's try it against the Giants, right? And it looks good. Okay, let's keep doing. Let's keep building on. Let's keep building on. That's gaining momentum. That's gaining confidence. So if you look good in these next 4 games to add on to whatever you're doing now, everybody gets some of that. Not just the players, but what about the coaches?
Yeah.
Right? So momentum is everybody.
But not only that, it's how Philadelphia looks.
That's where I'm at now.
We knew the Giants weren't good, and we seen the Dallas Cowboys destroy them.
Right.
We knew the Commanders were not good, and we seen the Dallas Cowboys destroy them. We've seen Niners destroy teams. We have not seen Philly destroy teams. So with these next 4 games, like, it needs to look like that. And I know it's the National Football League and it's hard, but yes, we need to see some of these 17 points, 20-point beatdowns because these teams ain't on your level, right? The Giants ain't on your level. Right? The Arizona Cardinals ain't on your... So these need to be beat downs, and you guys need to be getting into a rhythm and playing like that.
But I don't really do the whole the blowouts and all that. I don't do that game, right? Because the last time we were doing the blowout games, y'all was telling me how great the Dolphins was, right? How great the Cowboys was. So I don't do the numbers thing. I just go, how are you playing, right? How are you executing?
I think, let me ask you this.
You execute at a high level.
But I think
you execute at a high level, and you won't beat no team by 25
But
points.
here's where I disagree. I think the Eagles are good enough. To some degree, I think you're all saying the same thing. I think the Eagles are good enough that if they do execute at a high level, they would beat the Giants by 21 points. Like, if they do execute at a high level, you are beating DeVito and you are beating Kyler. I think you are winning.
There's certain things you can't get around on. So you talked about that they're last on
defense, 30 seconds. Red zone, third down.
Third down.
Okay, so let's say they make a big improvement. But a big improvement from 32, let's say, to 24. Like, that's a... You get what I'm saying? That's a bigger jump.
But that's not executing at a high level.
So all I'm saying, Shady...
I mean, but if you go from getting beat on every third down to, you see what I'm saying? So now it's 50%. Like, that's improvement. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, say you guys play the Giants, and you guys went on a game-winning field goal. You're going to take confidence out of that game like we could beat the Niners or Cowboys. That's all I'm saying. So it's how those look. Yeah. Like, go beat them boys down.
But my thing is, we don't have to beat the Giants by 30 points to say, oh, man, we got better. I don't believe in that.
I feel you. Shady, I believe in crazy work, though. I believe in that.
It's time.
And after commercial break, it's time for America's favorite segment. LaShawn McCoy, he's highlighting the best plays from the best players in the world. It's time for crazy work. Do not miss what you already missed. Don't miss it twice, y'all. You just punishing yourself. That's next after break.
Look at Mac. Get off me, Mac.